Hello! Welcome to another episode of Todd doing silly things with artificial intelligence. I've come up with a new, I don't want to call it a game exactly, but it's been entertaining me, that I do with ChatGPT, where I basically have worked with ChatGPT to do what would be world building, creating nations and characters and timelines and histories and everything. Except I don't ever actually use the world building for anything. Like normally when you build a world, it's so you can write a story in it or play a Dungeons and Dragons game in it or something like that. There's no other purpose than the fact that I just enjoy build world building. And using AI lets me flesh it out in ways that I'm too lazy to do myself. It's a lot of fun. We're going to do it right now. I'll show you what I mean. It's pretty nerdy and weird, actually, but I am loving it. Okay, so what we're going to do in ChatGPT, you could probably do this in AI Dungeon too, but ChatGPT is real good at it. And this is not a conversation like AI Dungeon is very good at characters and conversations and storytelling. This is more big picture stuff, and I don't know, ChatGPT is great at it. So let's see here. Please imagine a. Let's do a far future where humans have colonized several let's say several solar systems outside of Earth. And in this future, humans have made contact with six other alien species. Please write a brief summary of each of the six different aliens, their cultures, tech level, and their relationships between them and each other and humans. Okay, so we're just getting the bare bones here set up. Okay, so we've got the Orathians. They're tall insectoid creatures with crystalline exoskeletons and multifaceted eyes. In insect types, the Orathians are a hive-minded species, highly communal and driven by collective goals. Their society revolves around intricate rituals of duty and harmony with little emphasis on individuality. Technology, they possess advanced bioengineering capabilities, creating organic spacecraft and infrastructure that grows and adapts over time. Their technology is heavily integrated with their biology, allowing them to reshape ecosystems and environments. They're very advanced. Relationship with humans, though initially wary of humanity's individualism, the Arathians have formed a cautious alliance with humans, seeing potential in cooperation. However, they struggle to understand human emotion and free will, a common sci-fi trope, which leads to occasional friction. Relationship with other species, the Orathians maintain peaceful relations with the Zinthari. Admiring their organic technology, they avoid the Valkor, whose chaotic tendencies clash with their sense of order. Okay, well, can't wait to find out about these others. Here's one of them. The Zinthari. Their appearance is serpentine beings with bioluminescent skin that changes color with their emotions. They have no fixed form and can alter their appearance to some degree. Zinthari culture is deeply artistic and spiritual, focusing on the aesthetic of life and the universe. They believe in the interconnectedness of all things and practice a form of communal meditation. Technology, they have mastered a form of quantum energy manipulation, that sounds very quantum energy manipulation. Sounds soups advanced, y'all. Allowing them to harness energy directly from stars. Their ships and cities float on energy currents and are adorned with intricate glowing designs. Relations with humans. The Zinthari are curious about humans and their drive for expansion. They have formed diplomatic ties, fascinated by human ambition, but sometimes concerned about their environmental impact. So they have diplomatic ties with humanity. And they're fascinated with us, but they're worried we're going to have a negative environmental impact. I don't know where they got that idea from. Humans are great with the environment. We take great care of the environment. Don't look at Earth. Relationship with other species. They share a close partnership with the Erathians, as both species value communal well-being. So that's the insect people. They are often at odds with the technologically aggressive Cryolokar, viewing their militarism as destructive. Great. Okay, the Cryolokar. Tell me about them. They're a robust armored species resembling humanoid reptiles with metallic scales and powerful cybernetic implants. The Cryolokar are a warrior society valuing strength, honor, and conquest. And their culture revolves around martial prowess. They see the universe as a place to be dominated and controlled. Their strict hierarchical society places their warlords at the top, with little tolerance for weakness. They're bullies. They're warrior bullies. Let's see. So these guys are reptilian. The Zinthari are serpentine with bioluminescent skin. Okay. So the hippies are serpentine. The insects are the hive mind. Makes sense. The Cryolokar are humanoid reptiles. They love the war. In relationship with humans, the Cryolokar initially saw humanity as a weak race to conquer, but after several intense conflicts, they now respect human resilience. A cold truce exists, with occasional skirmishes over contested territories. Relations with other species, they are in constant conflict with the Zinthari and Orathians, viewing their pacifism as weak. The Cryolokar are wary of the Namul due to their unpredictability, but respect the strength of the Valkor. Okay, I think we've heard about all of them now. The insect people didn't love the Valkor, right? Yeah, the Erathians are the insect people. They avoid the Valkor, whose chaotic tendencies clash with the insect people's sense of order. Okay. Valkor. Oh, maybe we haven't heard of everybody. No, we haven't heard about the Thraxians yet, so we'll find out. The Valkor are massive stone-skinned humanoids with magma-like veins glowing under their skin. Magma-like. So magma is their blood? These are carbon-based rock people. I love that. The Valkor value chaos, change, and destruction as forces of renewal. They value chaos. They live in a highly competitive society where power shifts frequently and conflict is seen as a way to evolve and improve. Their political structure is fluid, with leaders rising and falling based on strength and cunning. Though not as advanced in precision technology, the Valkor have mastered large-scale energy manipulation, particularly fusion and plasma-based weaponry. They are feared for their destructive potential, as their technology is designed to obliterate rather than subdue. That's hardcore. So they don't capture, they don't conquer, they blow it up. That's scary. In relationship with humans, the Valkor see humanity as intriguing upstarts and often provoke them in conflicts to test their mettle. While not openly hostile, they treat humans with a mix of amusement and respect, recognizing their growing influence. Wow. In relations with other species, the Valkor are adversaries of the Erathians, so that was the serpentine hippies, and the Zinthari, the insect hive mind, whose orderly societies clash with the chaotic nature of the Valkor. However, they have a loose alliance with the Cryolokar, bonded by their appreciation of strength and warfare. They're like, hey, you like to blow things up? I like to go to war. Let's be best friends. Makes sense. The Nomule. The Nomule are a species of amorphous shape-shifting beings composed of gelatinous semi-transparent material. They can mimic other species' forms, but usually appear as formless blobs. They're Odo. They're shapeshifters. That's fantastic. Nomule society is fluid and constantly shifting, much like their bodies. They have no fixed government or leadership and operate through consensus. Their culture values adaptability and change above all else, believing that stagnation leads to extinction. The Nomule excel in adaptive technology, creating devices that can change form and function based on need. They are pioneers in nanotechnology and have developed organic nanobots that can reshape entire environments. They have organic nanobots. That's cool. Relations with humans. Humans find Nomule perplexing and difficult to trust due to their lack of structure. Literally. However, the Nomule admire humanity's adaptability and have formed trade agreements with them, providing humans with advanced nanotechnology in exchange for resources. Relationship with other species, the Nomule maintain neutral relationships with most species, avoiding conflict whenever possible. They are closest to the Zinthari, sharing a love for fluidity and change, but are often exploited by the Krylokar for their technology. Which ones were the Zinthari again? Serpentine beings with bioluminescence. Okay, so they're the Nomule shapeshifters are friends with the serpentine hippies. It's all right. It's very complicated, but that's what's fun. The Thraxians, the sixth and final alien species beyond humans. They are small insectoid beings with multiple arms, translucent wings, and a large compound eyes. They communicate through pheromones and vibrators, or vibrations. Their culture, the Thraxians are a hyper-intelligent species focused on science, logic, and precision. They are natural engineers and problem solvers, with a society that values innovation and efficiency. They're nerds. Their culture lacks emotional expression as they see emotions as impediments to progress. So they're small insectoid nerds. It's fantastic. Technology. The Thraxians are among the most technologically advanced, having developed technologies that manipulate gravity, time, and space. They are known for their ability to create pocket dimensions and time dilation devices. Okay, so the Thraxians are hugely advanced technologically, it seems like. Their relationship with humans, the Thraxians see humans as chaotic and irrational. Well, we're not as chaotic as those rock boys earlier, but useful for their creativity and lateral thinking. They have a tentative alliance with humanity, often trading scientific knowledge for human ingenuity. The relationship with other species, they are largely indifferent to most other species, focusing more on their own research. They nerds, Thraxian nerds. They occasionally collaborate with Arathians and Zinthari on scientific endeavors, but keep their distance from the Krylokar and Falkor. Okay, so the Arathians and Zinthari and the Thraxians are kind of the good guys. So the Orathians, the Zinthari, and the Thraxians are all good. The Valkor are chaotic rock people. The Krylokar are bad news. They're just out for war. And the Nomule, are shapeshifters and blobs. And I don't know if they're good or bad. Crazy. Okay, so now we've got the beginning. We have humanity and we have 6 other alien species. So now the really fun part starts. Please imagine the year is, we'll say 2200. Please write a conversational yet historical timeline for interesting events that might take place in this universe from the year 2200 to 2210. Do a variety of interesting things, and please include one bad thing happens to one of the 7 races. One good thing happens to one of them. 2 races become closer, and 2 have friction. Okay. So now it's generating some stuff. Some stuff is going to happen. We've created a world We've created humans and 6 other nations, and now we're going to find out what happens with them. This is the story part. But it's a big picture historical story, not like the story of Bob and his quest to get a library card. This is the story of these 7 races. Okay. In 2201, Orathian ecosystem collapse on Arcara Prime. Disaster strikes the Orathians in 2201 when a previously unknown fungal blight devastates the carefully engineered biosphere of Arcara Prime. Okay, so the Orathians. I need to make a cheat sheet. It's hard to remember who everybody is. The Orathians are the first ones. They're the tall insects with the hive mind. Okay. Oh, I missed something though. We're not. We shouldn't start there. At the very beginning, 2200, the dawn of the Union Trade Alliance. The 23rd century kicks off with a monumental event. Humans and Zinthari signed the Union Trade Alliance. This treaty marks the first formal partnership between the two species. Focused on trade and technological exchange, the Zinthari's quantum energy manipulation becomes integrated into human energy systems, reducing the need for harmful mining practices on colonized worlds. Human architects, in turn, help the Zinthari build their first permanent spaceport on the human-dominated planet Nova Ether. Result, humanity and Zinthari begin fostering closer ties, blending human ambition with Zinthari spiritual and artistic vision. So we're working together. Humans and Zinthari are working together and sharing tech, and they've built a permanent spaceport on a human-dominated planet. In 2201, Orathian ecosystem collapse. Okay, so this is the hive mind insect folks. Previously unknown fungal blight devastates carefully engineered biosphere of Arcara Prime, one of their most vital colony worlds. Blight introduced unintentionally through a trade mission with the Nomule. See, the Nomule are shape-shifting weirdos. You gotta be careful with them. Spreads rapidly, affecting their organic infrastructure and leading to collapse of major cities. Despite their advanced bioengineering, the hive mind species struggles to contain the blight, losing millions of Orathians in the process. Result, tensions grow between Orathians and Nomule, who are blamed for their lack of control over their adaptive technology. Relations already strained due to Nomule's unpredictability grow even more tense. So the hive mind insect Orathians are pissed at the Nomule because of this. And also they've lost a whole bunch of lives. In 2202, the Krylokar battle station Iron Maw is completed. So the Krylokar have built a battle station. In an effort to secure dominance over nearby systems, the Krylokar unveil the Iron Maw, a colossal battle station capable of launching planet-destroying plasma volleys. Built over the course of 20 years, this station becomes the centerpiece of the Krylokar military fleet. Its presence puts pressure on all neighboring species, especially humans who share a disputed border with the Krylokar. It's a colossal battle station that can destroy planets with plasma volleys. Is this a Death Star? Is this an off-brand Death Star? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Result, friction escalates between the Krylokar and humanity as both sides enter a quiet arms race. 2203, the Zinthari Orathian Healing Accord. Okay, after a fungal blight crisis on Arcara Prime, which we saw earlier because of the shapeshifters gave them some bad wheat or whatever, the Zinthari offer assistance to the Orathians in rehabilitating their devastated biosphere. While the Orathians are reluctant to accept outside help, the Zinthari's expertise in organic energy manipulation proves invaluable. The two species work together to restore balance to the ecosystem, and in doing so, form a deep bond. The Healing Accord of 2203 solidifies the relationship. Orathians, though highly communal and rigid in their ways, begin to admire the Zinthari's fluid approach to life. resulting in a stronger alliance forms between the Erathians and Zinthari, with joint bioengineering projects and cultural exchanges becoming more common. So, the Zinthari, who are the serpentine bioluminescent hippies, are helping the Erathians, the insectoid hive mind folks, with their food crisis, and they're becoming closer together. They're forming a bond. So that's cool. They're both good guys. I like them becoming friendlier. That's good. 2204, the Nomule Reformation. In the wake of the Arcara Prime Blight, the Nomule undergo a major societal shift. The Nomule have always been a fluid society, but after being blamed for the catastrophe of the blight, a movement forms among them to introduce a more structured process in their dealings with other species. This Nomule Reformation creates new governing councils, making the Nomule more predictable and reliable trade partners in trade and diplomacy. Humans play a significant role in advising the Nomule on how to structure their new councils, drawing from their experience with bureaucratic governance. Well, that's great. Humans are great at governments and everything to do with governing. Maybe we're better at it in the year 22,000. We're having a lot of we so far in our real life history we have had some struggles, but here's to the optimistic idea we'll be better at it in the future. The Nomule's adaptability allows them to quickly implement changes, resulting in a more cooperative species. That's wild. Okay. Relations between humans and Nomule improve as humans are seen as key partners in their new governance reforms. So the Nomule are becoming more predictable and forming structured governments. In 2205, Valkor Krylokar border skirmish. Okay, the Valkor are the rock people, and the Krylokar are the warrior people. They kind of liked each other because they both like fighting so much, but surprise, surprise, they're fighting each other. A tense incident erupts between the Valkor and Krylokar over a resource-rich asteroid belt in neutral space. The Valkor, eager to harness the volatile plasma flows from the asteroids, send several mining ships in the region. However, the Krylokar, claiming the belt as their territory due to its proximity to their space, send warships to intercept the Valkor vessels. A brief but intense skirmish occurs, with both sides suffering losses. The Krylokar claim victory, but the Valkor see it as a challenge to be met with future aggression. Okay, so the Krylokar have a planet-killing space station, battle station, and are in a quiet arms race with humanity. And now they've also pissed off the Valkor, who are rock people who like to blow stuff up. So that's interesting. And relations between the Valkor and Krylokar, never friendly, worsen significantly. Open conflict seems inevitable. Okay, 2206, Thraxian temporal breakthrough. Excuse me. In a breakthrough year for the hyper-intelligent Thraxians, they successfully develop a gravitic time-space array, a device capable of manipulating localized gravity fields and bending time in small regions. Initially used for scientific research, it proves invaluable for precision engineering and space exploration. Some human scientists are invited to participate in the experiments, leading to a deeper cooperation between the Thraxians and the humans. So the Thraxians are the small insects that are nerds. And this is great. And they got crazy tech. And the technology, however, is highly controlled. And the Thraxians are cautious about sharing it with other species, keeping a tight lid on it for its potential military applications. Result, humanity's relationship with the Thraxians deepens as both species collaborate on scientific projects leading to advances in space-time engineering. Okay, 2208, the Treaty of Solarion, with tensions rising in the galaxy, particularly between the Krylokar and Valkor, the Zinthari and Erathians propose a peace summit on Solarion. Oh, they're already patching things up. A neutral human colonized space station. So the humans are going to be the peacekeepers here, and host the warrior race and the rock people that like to blow stuff up. So that'll be a fun day. And the summit, dubbed the Treaty of Solarian, brings together representatives from all 7 species to discuss shared governance of disputed territories and the regulation of superweapons like the Krolikar's Iron Maw, the planet-blowing-upping battle station. Though the Krylokar reluctantly attend, the summit succeeds in establishing rules of engagement for resource disputes and temporarily de-escalates the threat of large-scale war. Okay. Result, while not a perfect peace, the Treaty of Solarian prevents immediate conflict and creates channels for future diplomatic efforts. In 2209, human expansion of the Halcyon Belt, humanity makes a bold move by launching a large-scale colonization mission to the Halcyon Belt, a mineral-rich region that had been largely ignored by other species. Using newly acquired Xanthari quantum energy tech, human ships are able to establish self-sustaining colonies faster than ever before. These colonies thrive, becoming economic powerhouses that produce valuable materials for the entire galactic economy. The result? Humanity's influence grows as the Halcyon colonies become a key asset in interspecies trade, solidifying their role as a central player in galactic politics. And in 2210, the Valkor's culture of chaos and internal competition leads to a significant political schism. A faction known as the Iron Faction believes that Valkor should focus on technological advancement and become more structured to compete with species like the Krylokar and humans. Meanwhile, the traditional Flameborn faction sees this as a betrayal of their core values of chaos and destruction. Those are core values for these guys. Chaos and destruction. The civil unrest begins to spread throughout Valkor territory, with minor conflicts breaking out between the two factions. So now they're fixing to have a civil war, threatening to weaken one of the galaxy's most powerful species. Result, the Valkor are now divided, with their internal chaos potentially leading to a decline in power, while other species watch closely. Okay. So, summary of things that happened between 2200 and 2210. The Arathians, the bug-like people who have a hive mind, face disaster with the Arcara Prime Blight and the Xanthari, the smart. The Xanthari are the Serpentine people who are hippies, and the Arathians become closer allies. Oh yeah, and the Arathians. It's so hard to keep everybody straight. Humans and Xanthari. The Xanthari are the smart nerd insects, strengthen ties through the Union Trade Alliance. Krylokar and Valkor clash over territory, worsening their relations. Nomule undergoes societal reform because they're tired of everybody hating them for being blobs of chaos. Thraxians make groundbreaking advancements in time and space manipulation, and the Valkor face potential civil war as their internal chaos leads to division. Okay, so excellent. I gotta know how to spell things. Okay, there we go. I figured it out eventually. Thanks to spell check. Excellent. Now, please create an entry for 2211 through 2220. 2220. During this time, and now that we've kind of set all this stuff up, we've got things going on. Now I like to start putting in things, specific things to have start happening. So I'm really interested in the, what are they? I'm really interested in the Valkor potential civil war here. So let's try to kind of get into that. During this time, let's see. I think humanity is going to see this as an opportunity to get an ally against the Krylokar, who have these terrible planet-killing machines. Humans assist the Valkor faction, that wants to develop tech, helping them politically or even militarily if needed. Also, okay, so humans are going to back one side. And let's go ahead and say the Zinthari use their planet-killing battle station to blow up a planet. And put in whatever other historical events sound good to you. Okay, so now let's see how this plays out. Okay. That's wild. It's gonna. It wants my feedback. It's gonna give me two choices, and I can pick the one I like the best, I guess. I've not seen it do this before while I'm playing this sort of a game with it. This is gonna be a lot. How do I choose? Okay, well, let's look at response number 2. The Human Valcor Tech Alliance in 2211. As the Valcor civil unrest deepens, the Iron Faction, which advocates for a more structured, technological, and advanced society, reaches out to humanity for support, seeing an opportunity to gain a powerful ally and reduce the influence of the more chaotic Flameborn faction. Human leaders in the Salt Council agree to assist. And they provide the Iron Faction with access to advanced human engineering and weaponry in exchange for strategic resource rights in the Valcor territories. Okay. In mid-2211, the first batch of human-built fusion reactors and plasma cannons are shipped to Valcor worlds under Iron Faction control. Human advisors help the Iron Faction construct massive fortresses and develop new tactics that emphasize precision over brute force. Much to the frustration of the traditional Flameborn leaders, the tech alliance between humanity and the Iron Faction begins to shift the balance of power within Valcor society, resulting in the Iron Faction gaining significant ground in the Valcor civil conflict and human influence with the Valcor race growing, creating political tension with other species. Let's see. Oh, and the other response 1, starts with the Zinthari demonstration of power. I don't know how to pick. I'm just gonna pick response number 2 because that's the one I already started reading. And oh man, I mean, how do you decide? They're both good. I'm sure they're both good. Okay, I guess we gotta wait for it to finish writing out response number 1 though. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going. What happens? Okay, in 2212. With human help, the Iron Faction constructs the Vengeance class fleet, the first Valcor warships equipped with advanced human plasma weaponry and faster-than-light drives. The Flameborn, still relying on raw power and outdated energy weapons, find themselves outmatched in several key skirmishes. The Vengeance class fleet of Valcor warships is kicking butt. The Battle of Vrakar's Rift in late 2212 is a turning point. The Iron Faction's new fleet decisively defeats the Flameborn forces in the strategic region, gaining control of critical mining facilities. The Iron Faction solidifies its position as a dominant power, and for the first time, the chaotic Valcor race appears to be heading toward a more ordered and technologically proficient future because the Iron Faction is winning the civil war. And the result, the Valcor civil conflict. Yeah, I mean, they're having fights. They're blowing stuff up. It's a civil war. It's not a conflict. Swings heavily in favor of the Iron Faction, thanks to humans. Oops. And now it's gone. Oops. Oh, no. Error in message stream. Okay, well. That's okay. Where was I? Okay, yeah, so it's the one that's here is the one I was reading anyway. 2213, the Zinthari unleash Eclipse, In a shocking turn of events, the Zinthari, the smart nerds, the insect nerds, deploy their ancient and rarely discussed battle station. No, the Thraxians are the smart nerds. The Zinthari are the warrior types. Okay. Who have the battle station. That makes more sense. Their ancient and rarely discussed battle station Eclipse to destroy the planet Valkyrie 3, home of the rogue Zinthari cult that had been engaging in forbidden quantum experiments. Wow, okay. These experiments threatened to destabilize the fabric of space-time in the region, creating a cascading quantum ripple that could spread to neighboring systems. Despite attempts to negotiate, the cultists refused to cease their experiments. After exhausting diplomatic channels, the Zinthari leadership makes the unprecedented decision to activate Eclipse. In a single terrifying event witnessed by millions across the sector, Valkyrie 3 is obliterated. Many species are horrified by the Zinthari's decision to annihilate an entire planet, causing friction between Zinthari and other species who had seen them as a peaceful race. So I must be confused. The Zinthari aren't the warrior types. Oh, the Zinthari are the snake hippies. The snake hippies. Oh boy, did I type in the wrong thing? When I wrote my request, also the Zinthari used their planet killing. So I put in the wrong thing. I meant to have the whatever the bad guy warriors are. I meant to say the Krylocar. Oh no, I caused the snake hippies to blow up a planet. Well, that's part of history now. That happened. The snake hippies have a planet killer, and they used it on their own folks. So that happened. That's part of it now. Wow. Many species are horrified by the Zinthari's decision to annihilate an entire planet, causing friction between them and other species who thought they were peaceful. Thraxians claim the Rindai Nebula. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here because it's been going on for a while, but you get the idea. It's a silly, nerdy thing to do. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure where you can choose whatever you want, but it's not really. It's a world building, it's history. It's really choose what kind of historical storyline you want to. I don't know how to describe it. World building, I guess, is what it is. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying putting in some things and then having the AI tell me a history story about an imaginary place that I helped create but doesn't exist. But I think it's neat anyway. If that's a thing you would enjoy, go to ChatGPT and have at it. It's a lot of fun. It's more fun to do it yourself, I think, than to watch someone else do it, which is another great reason to end this video. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you and good night. So nerdy!